24 years ago, an underdog Senegalese squad shocked the globe by defeating the reigning champions France in the World Cup's opening match. The weight of that 1-0 defeat lingered over the French national team for decades. It was a complete collapse on the biggest stage, leaving a permanent scar on the country's footballing identity. Fast forward to June 16, 2026. The two nations met again here in East Rutherford, New Jersey. France arrived completely loaded, stepping onto the grass as heavy favorites to lift the trophy. For the French squad, this opening match was a direct confrontation with their worst historical nightmare. A win here wouldn't just provide 3 points. It would finally silence the ghosts of 2002. This diagram shows how the match opened. France deployed an aggressive 4-2-3-1, but slammed into a dense defensive wall built by Senegal. Look closely at the central cluster. The tension's anchors boxed in Kylian Mbappé, neutralizing his Brett and isolating him for an hour. This chart traces possession through the first hour, proving the match was a stalemate. The lines sit nearly flat, hovering at an incredibly even 49 to 44% split, right up to the 65-minute mark. Through those first 65 minutes, Senegal's disciplined shape systematically recreated the exact conditions of the 2002 disaster, pushing the tension inside the stadium to a boiling point. The tension finally snapped in the 66th minute, and Mbappe found a tiny gap in the armor and finished with total precision to open the scoring. Look at how this vector map shows the immediate consequence of that goal. Trailing by 1, Senegal had to abandon their tight defensive block and push their lines forward to chase an equalizer, leaving massive empty pockets of space in the midfield. Manager Didier Deschamps countered instantly. He brought on substitute Bradley Barcola, injecting fresh legs specifically to exploit those newly exposed areas. The substitution worked perfectly. In the 82nd minute, Barcola surged into the open field and doubled the lead, seemingly locking up the victory. The game transformed from a claustrophobic tactical slog into an open track meet. An open field is exactly the environment that maximizes France's lethal transitional speed. Yet deep into stoppage time, Senegal found a lifeline. Ibrahim Mbappé pulled one back in the 95th minute, sending a sudden shockwave of panic through the French side. That late strike proved the Senegalese squad was still fighting. For a brief second, it looked as though France might actually drop the result despite their late-game dominance. But the comeback lasted exactly 1 minute. Mbappe struck again almost straight from the ensuing kickoff and firmly killed the game. That frantic 60-second sequence highlights what makes this French team so dangerous. When a match devolves into tactical chaos, they rely on individual ruthlessness to close it out. Once the final whistle blew, the conversation quickly shifted from the team survival to individual history. This racing bar chart tracks Mbappe's climb to the top. With his brace, he reached 58 international goals, surpassing every previous French legend to become his country's all-time leading scorer. Now an even larger target is sitting well within his sights, Miroslav Klose. Mbappe is now just 2 goals away from matching the all-time World Cup scoring record. He is currently scoring at a pace that puts the most hallowed individual records in the sport's history under immediate threat. Looking at the final box score, France finished with 11 shots to Senegal's 6. They fully recovered from their sluggish opening hour to control the match. Their hard-fought 3 points look even better when you consider that Spain, another tournament favorite, suffered a shock draw on the exact same day. On the other side, despite the 3-1 loss, Senegal's 65-minute defensive masterclass proved they have the structure to be a highly dangerous threat to the rest of Group I. France arrived under the shadow of 2002 and left with a statement of intent. By breaking down a disciplined defense while fellow favorites stumbled elsewhere, they've established themselves as the team to beat in this group. How do you see the rest of Group I playing out? Let me know your predictions in the comments.